Roll call.
Chairwoman Crystal Clark, Vice Chair Julie Highsmith,
Present.
Stephen Brown, Pamela Shetka,
Present.
Dr. Bill Tollimer,
Present.
Jonathan Legister, and Councilman Jeff Amara.
Okay, presentation by Principal Armas is first.
Hi, good evening. Yes. Yes. First of all, I'd like to officially say happy birthday to Mrs. Mikowski. Yes. Because about a month ago, I get a random text that says, EAB's on my birthday. Don't talk too much. It seems to be the prevailing attitude. You know, I told earlier today, Jacqueline said, "Look, it takes you 15 minutes just to clear your throat, right?" And so that's why I brought all these people here. That way, if we go along, I'm going to blame them and not me. Right?
So this is her birthday present?
So this is her birthday present, and I'm in
Budget's really low this year, so you know.
And we're going to drag it out too. So thanks for having us. We appreciate this, and it's always a nice opportunity for us to come here and meet with you and kind of provide you, usually just to talk about our vision. A long time ago, I realized that I was neither the smartest or the most talented guy in the room ever, unless I was by myself. And so because of that, I learned a long time ago that I needed to surround myself with outstanding people. And we have done that at Royal Palm Beach High School. And here tonight, you're going to find some of the best people that you can find in the business of education. They're experts in their field, and any successes that we have had have been because of all of the hard work that they have put in, and obviously because of their talent. So they're going to get a chance to kind of talk a little bit about the school and about some of the things that we do. For us, it always begins with our vision, right? And if you haven't seen us talk about our vision, then it's the first time you've seen us or you haven't been paying attention, because we always talk about our vision. To us, our vision is very important. It was adopted back in 2010. The summer that we got here, Ms. Amato actually led that initiative. And then we've tweaked it on a couple of occasions, just tweaked, because really has withstood the test of time. The committee it was about a 40-person committee of all stakeholders that put it together 10 years ago. And they really they really did good work because of the fact that it has withstood the test of time. For us, the vision serves as a philosophical foundation. It tells us who we should be, right? It also is our guiding light. It tells us when we make decisions, we always want to make sure that we're furthering our vision. And then, in cases like this, it also serves as a report card for us to go back and look at it and say, are we doing what we said we were going to do? Are we furthering our vision? Are we better today than we were yesterday, right? So that's what we look at. So with us, it always begins with the fact that our vision begins with meeting the holistic needs of our students, of all of our students. And they come to us. It's never lost on us that at the high school level, students come to us as 14-year-old children, and they leave as 18-year-old young adults. And those are four very formative years. And if a kid was just an FSA score, then we would have missed the entire point of what we're supposed to be doing, right? And so it encompasses a lot of things. Now, how we go about meeting those holistic needs, well, there are many ways, and our vision calls first and foremost for us to have a safe, respectful, and socially just environment. And so we'll begin with our safety and our safe environment.
Hello, I'm Crystal Amato. I am the principal's designee and in charge of all safety at our school. Just to let you know a little bit about me, I was fortunate enough to grow up in Royal Palm, and I actually was a student at H.L. Johnson and Crestwood Middle School. I'm a little too old for the high school, but I've worked at Royal Palm Beach High School for 14 years, so I feel like I am a wildcat, obviously, every single day of my life. So moving forward with safety. At Royal Palm Beach High School, we categorize all of our areas in 3 ways: instruction, systems, and culture. So I'm going to talk about safety in all of those areas, and when you hear us talk today, we are actually going over all of those areas when we're applying each different thing that our experts will talk about. So beginning with instruction, I do safety trainings to all of our staff every single year, and we have already done these trainings as child abuse, suicide prevention, youth mental health, Title IX, Florida Department of Education, this is new this year, mental health simulation program, Cognito. And this year we introduced it the first day of our teachers' first day back. And then what they have to do is they have to go online and they have to do a simulation program where it's very interactive. And then after that, we have a follow-up training. So we did all of that in the first week of preschool week before students come back. And then we have Royal Palm Beach High School safety practice training at Royal Palm Beach High School, and that's everything that deals with us and the building individually based on the layout of Royal Palm Beach High School. Students, we instruct them through our safety practices, our class assemblies, which is grade level assemblies. We talk about all of our different things that we do as far as safety at Royal Palm Beach High School. And we not only talk about it, we explain why we do it and the reasons behind all of the different things that we do at Royal Palm. We also have positive behavior support, and what that is, it's recognizing students that are doing the right thing every single day at Royal Palm Beach High School. We have a few new initiatives, which is popping into classrooms. This year, if students are not late, we pop in. If students are not late, we give the entire class a prize. So blow pops, different prizes, but popping in is a blow pop. So the whole class earns it if nobody is late to class. And so those are just some simple positive things that we do every day, along with tickets that go into a bigger drawing.
We're going to institute that here.
Yes.
We're giving them sugar.
We're giving them sugar. Keep them engaged all day long. And then we have a See Something, Say Something campaign. You'll see these if you come onto our campus everywhere. We've been doing this for years, but if you see something, say something, and our experts will go more into that as far as how they can report things that they see at Royal Palm Beach High School in a number of ways. Systems. So we have a school supervision plan from before opening all the way to the end of closing the gates at 11 o'clock at night. There is a plan for every moment of our day that we teach to everyone and that we expect to go according to plan every single day. So we are planning for that. We have a fully operational duty-specific crisis response plan, and this is for if we have an evacuation of any kind at Royal Palm Beach High School, this talks about those specifics and any lockdowns at our high school. So this is, again, a fully operational plan. And then we have our evacuation drills. Today we did have a fire drill. We do have to get so many drills in every single year. We also have bi-monthly safety committee meetings, and what this is talking about all the different trainings, anything that has happened on our campus. The leadership team gets together and we talk about ways to make sure if something were to happen, how we're going to fix it, or if something did happen, how we're moving forward and making sure it does not happen again. We have 40 surveillance cameras on our campus. And then food service, and I want to talk about this a little bit more in depth, but part of our systems and Maslow's hierarchy of needs is making sure that first that you are fed is the number one, and then after that is safety. So our food services is we provide free breakfast for all, so every student on our campus can get free breakfast as they come into our campus. Lunch, 63% of students eat a full meal at lunch. That's 6% higher than the 7 high schools with the food court look that we have. And then we also do a free supper, and that's from 3 to 3:30. Anyone staying on campus for any extracurricular activities, sports, club, whatever it is, even staying for tutoring, you can have a meal before you go to that. So that's extremely important to us.
I go back, just always like to take a pause anytime that we're leading the district in something. So that's
Okay.
6% higher than all the other schools, right? And it's not even close, yes.
Okay.
Hey, look, any opportunity I can get.
Yes, yes. And then culture, really, what our culture is at Royal Palm Beach High School is really driven by our relationships. So this is really underlying the relationship part and piece of Royal Palm Beach High School. So just to tell you the different staff we have on as far as safety and building these relationships, we have 4 student services assistant principals. We have 3 full-time police officers, although one is still in the process of being hired by the district, but we do have 3. Last year we only had 2. This year we have 3, which is a great way to provide more safety on our campus. We also have 1 police aide stationed at the front gate that checks in every single car that comes into Royal Palm Beach High School. We have 7 full-time personnel for security. All they do is walk our campus. They make sure that if we need anything, they are circulating our hallways, they are circulating our portables, any gates that we have. We have 3 deans in student services with our 4 assistant principals. And we have an 18-member crisis response team. If for some reason we needed to go into our crisis response plan, these 18 members know their duties and know where they belong in order to successfully get students into any area that we need or keep them safe and keep them locked down. And then we have a 14-member counseling services department in which I am done, and Ms. Lanier is on her way up.
Crystal, before you go, I want to ask a question. I know what your engagement number is.
Do we stop the clock? I just want to stop the clock. Don't blame me. Don't blame me for him asking questions. I just want to say that.
This is what he wants to do, run through the whole thing, nobody ask him a
I was
question.
trying to be quick, but
You were good quick, believe me. Because I know your engagement scores are really, really high. But the thing I've seen, first-year teachers, 1.7 years, then they're out. People leaving the profession at a very high rate because of the administrative, all the things that happen in education. And so what kind of mental health are we looking at for our employees?
well, that's a great question. And
See?
Okay, so we'll give you that one.
And I run the operational sides. Ms. Joan runs the curriculum side. So we kind of have 2 different sides of the house, but we both work with all of the teachers along with our entire instructional support team that is here tonight. And depending on who they go to, we all know that we have the Employee Assistance Program, which is a free program and is also an anonymous program. So if they are having problems, there are people that they can see if they don't want to come to the school. Now, if there are needs that they need to be met and they're okay with working with personnel and different people on our campus, then at that point we will get them with our different psychologists, our mental health counselors, and then they can work with them and from there get services. But it just depends on what they're comfortable with. A lot of times it is more anonymous, and they come to one person, and we keep it very, very quiet, and we give them the Employee Assistance Program information and what steps they need to take in order to get the help and support that they need.
And so what's sweeping the corporate world are mental health days that are given to staff and faculty that
So we
need
give
to.
mental health Saturday and Sunday. What more do they need?
Such a slave driver.
What more do they
I've seen your birthday present here, so I see how you are. But I just am seeing this all over the country, and so I wanted to bring that to our attention. So, you have such great staff. These are things that we do such a great job. I mean, you do with your students and everybody else, but sometimes the faculty and staff really are the ones this is all put on, and they need, some kind of piece like that. Yeah. So I'm glad
I think
you
Crystal
recognize
hits it right on the head. I think first off, it begins with your peers and anything that you might need from them. Then a lot of times the teachers will come, our faculty will come to them because they trust them, right? And that's part of it. And then, as Crystal says, there's also the Employee Assistance Program, which is really very good. The district uses that as their mental health and by the way, it's not just mental health. It could be anything. Any kind of person's going through a divorce. It really helps them throughout, and it's a really great program. It's anonymous, so I don't even know who's going to it. So it really is a good program, and we really try to steer people to those kind of professionals because that's the group that really knows what they're doing. As far as mental health days, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. That's over our level. That's a district calendar type thing that we would kind of try to talk about at the district level.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening.
Evening.
My name is Nikki Lanier. I think you guys have seen me here before around. I'm the Counseling Services Department Coordinator, and just want to tell you a little bit about some of the really exciting things that are happening this year in our department. First of all, I've been at the school for 10 years. This is my 10th year. I've lived in Royal Palm for 16 years, and I've had 4 kids that all go through HL and Crestwood, and my last 2 babies are junior and senior now at Royal Palm High School. So I've been around and through the schools and super excited to be here and be part of it and to work with some really great kids. So we've been really fortunate this year that we've grown our counseling services department from the traditional school counselors that you would think of. We had 7 on campus to now our department is encompassing 14 people. And I just want to go over a little bit about who those are. And unlike Dr. Armas, I would not have made my portion of this slide be the largest thing on the page, but I'm part of the department. And then we have our traditional school counselors, that what we usually would have called the guidance counselors, who work with our students to get them graduation ready and, troubleshoot any problems that are going on with them. We also have 2 co-located mental health counselors on campus now full-time. We have 2 behavior specialists, 2 school psychologists, and we have a graduation coach. And we are all meeting weekly together and, talking about things that are going on, referring kids that come to us or to teachers or to administrators on campus to the appropriate person. So we really have, true wraparound services right now with the kids and have had some opportunities we haven't had in the past to address some of their, very important needs academically all the way through mental health wise.
And I think that this is a perfect opportunity to talk about this group here. I'm always asked, well, what does the Education Advisory Board do for you? First thing I tell them is, well, it provides a place for us to talk about the school, but most importantly, it provides a place for a governing body, right, to be able to support us. And this group, the Education Advisory Board, promoted and supported the last referendum. And none of this would be possible without you and your help and the voters of Palm Beach County who are allowing us to have more money to do this kind of work. Right? That's straight. It just comes down to that. We've never had anything like this, and the reason we've never had it is because simply the money wasn't in the budget. And so now the referendum monies have given us a lot of opportunities to do these kind of things. I mean, we're talking about 14 people. We've doubled the number of counselors that we have on our campus, right? The 3rd police officer, once we, able to get it in the budget, once it's in the budget, once we're able to hire, because school police right now is trying to hire a lot of people. And once they get everybody hired, then we'll get that 3rd police officer. So really all of that is a result of the community stepping up and voting for the millage. And certainly I'm grateful to you for the fact that you supported it, because you have a voice out there. And that's how really together we can make things better. So a lot of that has to do with you, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Lanier. I don't have the screen for, there we go. So a respectful environment.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Gwen Von Wern. I'm in my 7th year at Royal Palm Beach High School. I have served the last 6 years in instructional support and have worked intimately with the teachers. And I'm very excited to talk a little bit about the respectful environment that we do have going on campus. And how, if I were sitting where you're sitting, well, how do you justify that? Like, how can you illustrate that? So when we're talking about respect and looking at some of our data, the first thing I'd like to share with you is that we have 19 staff members who have a student presently on our campus. And I think that speaks volumes. And in addition to that, and almost more importantly, we have 24 employees who are alumni. And I think that's amazing because people want to come back. And I can tell you from a personal standpoint, I'm very excited at the beginning of each year when our new faculty and staff members are introduced, because we find out who are the alumni. And each year that number is growing. So I think that that really speaks volumes to all of the good stuff that's happening on our campus. And then finally, we have 12 different employee-family relationships, meaning we have sisters who both teach on campus. We have a mother and a daughter team. And again, you wouldn't bring somebody there if you didn't want to be there yourself. So I think that's just remarkable. But in addition to that, if you have looked at the paper in the last month, you might have seen that Royal Palm Beach High School was reported the happiest high school in Palm Beach District. Yeah, very good news for us. And that article came as a result of the school effectiveness questionnaire. It's a questionnaire that the district sends out to all of the schools in the district. And when they sent it out to ours and we received our results, we saw that 87% of our faculty and staff responded. And that in itself speaks volumes because they wanted to respond. And even more importantly, of those 87% that responded, 97% of them are satisfied working at our school. So I would say too, especially when you're talking about retention of teachers, right? The way to keep teachers is to keep them happy. And we often speak of the importance of student and teacher relationship, but that does not supersede the importance of teacher and colleague relationships. So that is something that we have taken a lot of pride in over the last several years, ensuring that we provide opportunities for our teachers and staff members to interact in a social environment so they want to come, because happy teachers make happy students.
And by the way, we fired the other 3% that weren't happy. No, but what the article didn't say, though, is that they didn't come out. They didn't have that same article the previous year, and this year. But that's last year we had very similar numbers and also led the district in all of those numbers. So we've done it for 2 consecutive years now, and we're very, obviously I'm pleased with the fact that the staff wants to be there, and it really is just. And again, it speaks to the environment that these individuals have created. So I want you
Wait,
to.
before you start, I think this is another area we can help you. Those numbers, the B-rated, all the things you're about to talk about are things we could probably get out back, because,
Absolutely.
community perception is everything. And, it seems to me we keep this in our little happy place, and they finally gave you a little press from there, and they're pretty good at it. But, we got to think of ways to get out. How do we get this out to the public that doesn't understand what's going on at that high school? Some of the things, and you're going to get a fabulous education at that school. Do you have the same issues that some others do? You're darn right you do, but every school does. I don't care how private, public, doesn't make a difference. But for us to keep our people and going to the high school and be proud of it, all these things going on, we somehow have to be advocates for you to get out there to say, hey, this is, you got to think about this. Here's what's happening. Because that's not what's happening. We get to hear, and some watch and some don't. So I think we need to do a better job. I think our team can do a better job thinking about how we kind of get this out there for the high school, and that makes it better that we can kind of push that message out to the bit of community that doesn't get some of this. So that's a problem I think we should all, as a board, take on. And you think, or? Sure. You sure? You're the boss today, so I'm just making sure.
Well, we did see that Ms. Highsmith sent out a Facebook thing telling about, public meeting and all that kind of stuff. So those are the kind of things that we appreciate.
Yeah.
So the third piece of this is that we really believe that you have to have a socially just environment. So just want you to watch this a little bit. Now this is an Atlanta Braves game. It's a gimmick they do between innings where they give that guy right there a head start. And then this guy does this. Yeah, we're going to celebrate. Oops. And so they call him the freeze, is what they call this guy. And again, it's one of those in-between innings gimmicks that they have at the Atlanta Braves game. And so here, this guy gets that head start. And of course, we know the inevitable. So that's kind of neat. But the analogy here is that we have too many of our students that come to school every day and are way behind because of their circumstances, their lot in life, right? And so many other kids have an advantage over them. And I believe that our system has too many barriers for those students. And I believe that our job is to eliminate those barriers so that everybody gets to start off at the same time, from the same place, with the same resources. And we know that that's difficult to do because not everybody comes from home that way. But certainly, I can't stop and I can't change what's happening at the house, but I can certainly make sure that when they get to our campus, that they are in a socially just environment where they now have an equal footing, and now let's let everybody go from the same place, and let's let the cream rise to the top at that point, right? And so our job really, I believe, is to, now by the way, can our students who are falling way behind still win? Sure, that guy does. But the problem is that it requires incredible amount of effort and energy and talent sometimes, right? And so our job is to create a socially just environment and to be able to eliminate all those barriers that we might see, right? And that the students have to face every day. Now, the problem is with that is that, I certainly can't do that by myself. I've grew up and live in Disneyland. And so sometimes I don't see every single barrier. And once again, that's why we go to all of our experts on campus, and not only them, to the kids, and when we talk with them, So, because we want to know what the barriers are so we could try to create a socially just environment. Right? So the other way that we go about doing this is by through rigorous academics and personalized learning. Oh, that's my bad. No, that's my bad. No, you can come on up. She looked at me like, hey, you still have something to say, and I've forgotten, and I do. So how do we deliver rigorous academics? Well, really, it's three ways. One, through the curriculum that we teach. Two, through the instruction, in other words, how we teach it. And then three, the instructors who are teaching it, because we all know that the bottom line is who's the teacher in the room, right? And so when it comes to curriculum, first and foremost, by law, we have to teach the standards. So everything we do is standards-based from the Florida Department of Education. There's also then all of the different college and career academies that may have, in some cases, they may have their own standards. Most of these, though, all still deal with benchmarks and standards from the state. So, to talk about our college and career academies.
That'd be me. I'm Donique Blake. Hi. I'm not a student. I'm the Academies coordinator. This is my first year at Royal Palm Beach High School, but I am coming with 4 years of teaching experience, so I have been with the district. I'm coming from elementary school, and I do miss my babies sometimes, but I'm enjoying myself, and everyone's been great, and I'm adjusting well, so yes. So on with our academies. So Royal Palm Beach, we offer 5 career and technical education academies. So our first one is HVAC. So this was the first academy that Royal Palm Beach offered. It is the only one in the district. We are the only school that offers HVAC. So that's exciting, and our teacher does awesome things there. We have our medical sciences department. We offer 4 different tracks that the students can attach themselves to, and various certifications through the medical sciences department. We have business marketing with a focus in sports and entertainment management. Our STEM, which is we offer engineering and computer game design. And our newest one, I think this is the 4th year that it's been there, our Navy Junior ROTC training corps. It is awesome. Chief is awesome. He works with the students in writing, resume writing, interviewing skills. He offers scholarships to 180 schools throughout the United States. So he's excited, and everything that they're doing there, that program's really growing. So because of the various certifications that our students can receive, our students graduate and they are getting jobs out of high school, which is a great opportunity for those students who college is not their thing. So we are offering them the opportunity to still pursue beyond high school. We have 718 students in our academies, which is 1/3 of our population at our school, our student body. So we're excited. We are continuing to grow. I'm excited to be a part of the team and to grow the academies. And thank you very much.
Ms. Blake is part of it's her first year. She's part of a program that the district has where it's a partnership with FAU. And the program, what it does is it takes aspiring assistant principals and allows them to get their master's while at the same time getting the induction program that the district has always had people do. So normally you had to get your master's, then go through another year. Well, this way they've combined it all into one program. It's very good. Ms. Von Wern actually, Gwen already is in the first cohort, Donique's in the second cohort. I teach a course with the second cohort, and she was such an outstanding student that when we had this academies position open up, I said, you know what? I want her to come over because she was a great student and obviously had the goods to be really good in this position. And so you never know how you're going to get hired, right?
Right.
You just never know.
Could I make a comment real quick? You got any students available who could help us out with an air conditioner?
Absolutely. You know what? Our HVAC, we definitely do.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I hear about the irony all the time at the school. You know, how can our AC be down, right? Now you hear it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for help here, and I want to apologize if I appear distracted. I'm trying to make something happen, but I'm still looking for the student. I'm okay.
Noted. I'll remind myself tomorrow.
They all come out with jobs, by the way, out of that HVAC program. Every one of them. They really do. It's a great program.
An extraordinary group.
You ever paid an HVAC person?
Yes, no.
Make a lot more than we do.
That's what I'm saying. Well, but I don't know. I can't see what's going on the screen, so you got to kind of lead me through it.
It's not.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
So international programs.
Good evening. I'm Laurie Cotton. I'm the IB coordinator at Royal Palm Beach High School. can't make up my mind if our PBHS takes less time than Royal Palm Beach High School, but I am not a new teacher, and I don't have a job description that anyone, including my boss, really understands. But I am so excited to be spewing some things about the International Baccalaureate. For those of you who don't know, when we say IB, you're really talking about the diploma program. IB has 4 programs, but at the high schools in the United States, that's the junior and senior year. Right now, as of July of 2019, there are 873 high schools in the United States that offer the IB diploma program. Royal Palm Beach High School is the 6th in the school district of Palm Beach County to be authorized to offer the IB diploma. So we're excited. Our first graduates were in the class of 2019, so now we're in a growth spurt. But I want to make you understand that for us, IB is the premier accelerated program, but it has competition. And the reasons, I think, have to do with what Dr. Armas said about every child, every student needing their own path. And so we are in this era of inclusive curriculum. IB is still the premier. It's not for every student. So it's a 2-year college-level curriculum that's internationally recognized. And so for students who take on the IB diploma program, they are literally taking on an alternate high school diploma path. Once they start taking DP courses, the state basically makes a deal with IB diploma candidates. They say, look, if you see this program through, we honor that as your high school graduation. And it's a stressful thing. I have used the mental health services a great deal, but a lot of the times it just has to do with students maturing intellectually. They understand that they mature physically and socially, but they don't realize that what was overwhelming in grade 10 won't be in grade 12. So it's been a fun experience working with the students. Like every comprehensive high school, however, we cannot have just one accelerated program. We also have the ACE diploma offering. We tell the students very often that, what is the difference between that has to do with 2 things. One, if you want me to own you in grade 11 and 12, or if you want to do something like dual enroll or early admit. And 2, where are you applying to college? Because the ACE program, the ACE diploma, is relatively new in the United States. Both IB and ACE are a European model, which is why we like to give our pre-IB students some experience with ACE classes, because they have experience with those exams. Students who work on the ACE diploma must do so within 3 years of high school. They can start in grade 9 and finish in their junior year, or they can start in grade 10 and finish in their senior year, but it is time sensitive. Again, another internationally recognized program with high rigor, and more colleges in the United States are starting to recognize that. And the third accelerated program that every high school in the district offers is the College Board's Advanced Placement. I actually had to look that up because I knew I took AP classes in high school, but it actually predates me 3 years before my birth. It really is from 1955, and it's still here. But for adults in the room who remember taking AP classes, gone are the 100-question multiple-choice recall tests. College Board, David Coleman, who was in charge of Common Core, probably a bad thing to mention, but they have revolutionized the way they give teachers instruction and support and the way they assess students. So they're all paths. My take on the AP, again, I did that in high school. There was no IB when I went to school. It has to do with where the student is going. So if a student really isn't sure that they can do a full ride of acceleration in high school, then advanced placement and ACE are absolutely the way to go for that student. And finally, the complement to offering students in an inclusive era access to acceleration, we have an AVID program. I need support here. All right. AVID, the acronym is Advancement via Individual Determination. For those of you who are not familiar, really it is to create an academic environment that is supportive of students who traditionally were underrepresented in the college application pool. And again, the segue from Dr. Armis's video is profound to me because that's exactly the support that AVID provides. Students who didn't think they could go to college learn that absolutely they have what it takes. And those AVID teachers are just amazing in terms of the work that they do with students. And as a real commercial break, class of 2019, 2 of the students in the 9th grade actually got into an AVID class, unbeknownst to me, and we let it ride. And then we were so amazed at the work that was done in that AVID section that we literally tried to do an AVID section for pre-IB students in grade 9 after that. And so again, these programs are all a way to give students a way to college and beyond that is really, as Dr. Armis says, we are not gatekeepers, and this gives students an opportunity. Thank you so much.
So that's curriculum, and then after curriculum would come the instruction, how we teach it, and Ms. Jones.
Hello, excuse me. Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Jones, Assistant Principal of Curriculum for, including this year, 4 years. I've been at Royal Palm Beach High School for 14 years, and I have a daughter that went through H.L. Johnson. So I'm going to talk to you. Okay, here we go back. Okay. The art and science of teaching. When we do our instruction, that's exactly everything that we do. It's all about the art and the science of what we do. For Palm Beach County, every school district in Palm Beach County, we follow the Palm Beach model of instruction, which has, these are research-based teacher actions that absolutely get results, and they're high-yield results for every student and every teacher. There are 3 categories: standard-based planning, standard-based instruction, and conditions for learning. We take those 20 elements and we put them in the SIMS model, which is broken down into 4 areas. And then in those 4 areas, we do all of our school-wide drill downs. The art of teaching is probably what we need to do utmost, and so that we get the science of teaching perfect, and that's where we build relationships with our kids. And they're part of the article, and there's no doubt with the SEQ for what we have managed, and accomplished and do a very good job at our school is build those relationships with our students, professionally and personally. And as Dr. Armis says, and I certainly, this is one of the few things I can say, and actually put it on public record, is the single most important factor in becoming a master teacher is to create a positive professional relationship with each and every student. In other words, make a connection with each kid. And I doubt that there's not one person in this room that doesn't understand that and can't answer that question, who is your favorite teacher and why? And it was because of a connection. Thank you.
And then, of course, with the instruction, we teach what we teach and then how we go about doing it, but then who teaches it is most important in my mind.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniela Boyd. I am a Royal Palm Beach resident. This is my 5th year at Royal Palm Beach High School. I am an IB math teacher, and this is my first year also kind of doing a dual role as a math coach, and I am also the 2020 Palm Beach County Teacher of the Year.
Right. And if I could get her to walk around with a turnover chain type thing right here, right, that says I'm the Teacher of the Year at Royal Palm Beach High School, I'd get her to do it, but she won't do it.
We are especially proud at Royal Palm Beach High School of our credentialed and internationally experienced faculty. So just a couple of facts about the wonderful teachers at our school. We have over 20 staff members who have international educational or professional experiences in over 30 different countries. We have, in terms of our faculty and staff, 60 faculty and staff members that are bilingual, 13 faculty and staff members that are trilingual, and we have 2 polyglots that speak 4 or more languages. At Royal Palm Beach High School, we have 15 faculty members that are published. And what that means is between them, they have authored 12 different books and over 150 educational articles. We have 8 faculty members that have a degree from an international university. And we have 13 faculty members who either have a doctoral degree or are currently working to earn their doctoral degree. Lastly, we pride ourselves that as we are growing the IB program, we also have 2 faculty members who are IB graduates and who are currently teaching our IB diploma students as well. Thank you.
So Mrs. Boyd got her bachelor's from the University of Miami, her master's from Harvard, and is working on her doctorate from Florida. So obviously she's trending down in her life. But what can you say, right? And then she ends up working for me, right? Beautiful thing, right? Thank you, Mrs. Boyd. And then, of course, if you're talking about the whole child, you have to include extracurricular activities.
Good evening. My name is Renee Houck, and I'm one of the assistant principals at Royal Palm Beach High School. I am part of the statistics that I do have a daughter that attends the school. I also had 2 boys that graduated. My daughter is a current senior, and hashtag, I like to hashtag, proud to be a Wildcat, whoop whoop, like we are all about it. We are advocates on social media between the 2 of us. So if you see my name out there, just beware, I am a huge Wildcat fan. My current role is I work with activities. And so we believe, as we've talked about, that it's extremely important to have the academics, but we also believe it's extremely important for the students to participate in extracurricular activities. So we do offer 60 different clubs, and we also offer 30 different opportunities for students to play in competitive sports. That's boys and girls. So we have something for everyone, and we believe wholeheartedly that they need to be part of something in order to feel part of the school and be part of the school community. We do offer a activities fair this Friday that I'm very excited about, where the students kind of get to go to each table and find out a little bit more about what each club is about and what each sports has to offer, and decide whether or not they're a fit for it. And it's kind of like a match.com between students and the clubs. Thank you.
Ms. Howe, can I ask you a question about statistics? Now, obviously participation helps. Do you have one at the school that says how many are participating in your extracurriculars that kind of move that towards the graduation piece?
59.3% of our students participate in some kind of extracurricular activity. I have no idea. Yeah, no, that's not.
That came from.
Just remember, there are 3 kinds of liars, right?
I was watching
and
your
I think I'm all 3.
Hence the Miami graduate. We get this.
That's exactly right. That's right.
After this Friday, my plan is, because we actually had our first President's Circle today, which is something else. I was trying to be speedy, but I like to chat. We have a club representative that comes in and meets with Dr. Armas and myself, and we talk about all the different things that are going on campus so that we can get them involved, but they can also get others involved and share. Jonathan participates in that. And so after Friday's event, I actually am curious to see, they're turning in their numbers now, their rosters of who's currently enrolled in their activities, or their clubs, I should say. And then after the activities fair, I'll have a better idea to see how many students join in and then what we have.
I think you asked that once before, seriously. And, yeah, I did. Yeah, I know it. I thought.
And in year number 2, I still don't have an answer.
No, I thought, you're right, and that's my fault. No, it really is, because I remember you asking, and I thought I was going to look that up. And I don't remember now if I did or not. So obviously the number's not in my head. So we will get that and we'll have 4.
Yeah, and let me tell you the intent on this. I've been to 5 university admissions roundtables, and they're telling you exactly what these students need to get in. And this piece is really important. It's not, they put a big 4.0 person here, and they went a 3.8, and they went down the thing. But the issue became the student activities. The issue became the volunteer service. Like some of the scholarships, they had 500 hours last year that we had. So that's why I'm asking that. That's where the intent of that question is, about that piece moving forward, that they have to understand it's really as important as your academics and a lot of things.
If I had one wish that would come true seriously on the school, it would be that every single kid be a part of some organization. Because to me, what that does is it automatically shrinks the school down from 2,300 students down to whatever that is, and now you have a teacher who has a one-on-one type relationship with that kid. And so to me, really, 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 it comes down to that participation, and I wish that every one of our kids participated.
Yeah, okay, that's just the intent. Thank you, Ms. Howe.
And then it's not just about then activities. We also have to do this while building parent and community involvement.
Good evening. My name is Monique Paramore. I'm the testing coordinator at Royal Palm Beach High School. At Royal Palm Beach High School, we pride ourselves in being a beacon for our community. We do this by offering our adult and community school in which community members can take ESOL classes, GED classes, or a variety of other enrichment courses. We participate annually in the Relay for Life for Western communities, which this year will be March 14th. We have a new relationship with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, in which we plan to do 3 weeks of fundraising prior to their Light the Night event, which is on November 22nd. For more than a decade, we have sold Christmas trees on our campus during the month of December, I believe right after Thanksgiving, actually. Please come buy one. We also collaborate with PBSO to do a food drive every year. Our Interact Club runs that on our campus. And last but not least, I am very attached to this project. We have been awarded $10,000 from the Office of Community Revitalization. It was a grant proposal that we have written over the summer. We finally received confirmation that we will be getting that grant. The grant is for little free libraries. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but they look like little mailboxes. The concept is to take a book and share a book. We will be putting 10 of those in the community our students reside. We are very excited to embark on this. And that is it for me.
How much was the grant?
Oh, it was for $10,000.
And Ms. Paramore is being very humble when she says that was her. She brought the grant to me. She said, I'd like to try to do this. I said, if it makes me look good, go ahead. And so sure enough, she's done that. She wrote it. It's a huge grant. And really did a really nice job did an exceptional job. It was really a well-written grant. And so we're excited to, throughout the year, we'll let you know, but we're going to have some dedications and those kind of things as we start getting them out there. Probably next semester. It's probably when we'll start doing that. Thank you, Ms. Paramore.
I happen to know a man and his lovely wife that paint those. I was just saying.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the one over in Veterans Park is one that, one of two that were painted, put out in the community. It's a great program, fantastic program. It involves the community. Those who might think they're artists,
right,
get a chance. And
really? I thought she had all the talent in the family. Really? Oh. I thought Mrs. Hamara was the one that had all the talent in there. Really?
He keeps pushing the edge of the envelope.
All right, thank you. And then, of course, our Royal Palm Beach continuum, K-12 continuum, where all of the schools come together, and we work in collaboration, in vertical articulation, in helping each other, and in trying to further really our vision of providing our citizens, the citizens of Royal Palm Beach, with a world-class K-12 education. And that is because I've got great colleagues and who really just do a great job, and they put up with all my craziness, and they're all very good, and so we all get along that way somehow. And then, of course, we have to have open communication. One way we do that is through social media.
My name is Jennifer Benedict. I am currently the reading coach at Royal Palm Beach High School. This is my first year at the high school, but not my first year in being a part of the high school. I just had a son graduate last year from Royal Palm Beach High School, and I have a 10th grader there right now. And it's been quite an experience. I am happy to be a Wildcat. It was definitely a positive change for me. And one of the things that I do love about our school is our social media platform. It will starting with Twitter, and then we go right into Instagram and Facebook. And all of these avenues let the community, our parents, and students know what's going on with our school, be it be football games, student council events, Christmas tree sales, all of that fun stuff. And then the next one that we have is our school website. Our school website lets you find your bus route. It lets you know our district calendar. The SIS Gateway lets you know your students' grades, The student can find their own grades. And then my personal favorite is the school cash online, because as of right now, I owe $1.50. So, but all of these things get the word out to our community members, our stakeholders, and the parents to let them know all the positive things that our school is doing day in and day out. And I know, I'm sure when I go home tonight, I'm going to get on Facebook, and I'm going to look at my Twitter, and I'm going to see all of your faces tonight, because I know everything will be posted in real time. So that's it.
And then along with social media, then we have our mobile apps that we have on campus.
How are you? Good.
Evening.
Fine.
Evening.
I can see that from here. You look very nice. I am Neil Hagan, Royal Palm's favorite AP. He's saying,
Ask every one of the suspended students on campus who their favorite AP is, yes.
All right, mobile apps. Royal Palm Beach has led the way in mobile apps. Parents, faculty, staff, and students alike may find news they can use here. Also, most importantly, in keeping with our See Something, Say Something campaign, students can report any and all concerns they may have directly to administrators. Additionally, the state of Florida has added Fortify Florida to all computers on campus, district-wide. So students, again, parents may also report any and all concerns they may have directly to administration, making everyone a keystroke away from the assistance they may need. Thank you.
And thank you, Ms. Hagan. And when he said that we led the way, we really were second. Somebody had us ahead of us, had a school app, and we saw it, and we really liked it, and then we kind of took it and made it ours. And the reason why the state came out with the whole Florida is because not everybody has an app or that. But our kids have been using that reporting tool for years now. We've had it, and it really is very good. And it goes anything from I think there might be a weapon on campus to hey, I have got a substitute in my class, and there's some kids who don't belong here. So it really is working. It works well because the kids can do it anonymously, and our APs get that directly and immediately. So it really is our app, and the Fortify Florida also does the same thing. Finally, the last portion of how we meet the holistic needs is we graduate students, and frankly, that's our job, right? I mean, we have to teach the standards so that 4 years after they come to us, they walk across the stage with a high school diploma. That's what we're supposed to do. And so this has become my new favorite slide. I was telling them, right? So when it comes to graduation rates, and remember, we're always 1 year behind with graduation rates because they don't come in until later. We usually get them November, December. But for the 2018 graduation rates, the state of Florida had an average of 86%. Palm Beach County, all schools, charter, alternative, everybody had 89%. Only the district-operated schools were at 92%, and Royal Palm was at 93%. So by any metric, we have an above-average graduation rate, and so we're certainly very pleased about that. It takes a lot of hard work, students, parents, teachers, everyone coming together. Certainly our counselors have a big part in that also. So it's just good, it really is. And then finally, the last thing that we just want to mention is the school grade. That kind of is our matrix for the school grade that you see there. It comes down to 10 components, 4 that deal with proficiency, English, math, science, which is really biology for us, and then U.S. history. 4 that come in for proficiency. Then we have what we call our 2 lagging indicators, which are graduation rate and acceleration. Both of those always are a year behind. Like we just said, graduation rate's a year behind. Well, so is acceleration. And acceleration is calculated by the number of students who are eligible to graduate who have earned some kind of accelerated coursework, whether it's an AP test that they passed, an IB test, an ACE, a dual enrollment class that they passed, or an industry certification. Right? So any of those constitute, and all they have to have had is one in the 4 years that they were at the school to have that. Then there are learning gains of all students, 9th and 10th grade, and then our low 25. Right? And so then you take all of that and divide it by 1,000 and you get your school grades, and you see there the breakdown. Right? 62 gets you an A, 54 gets you a B. And so, and I mean, obviously, it's not the time to break this down. Anytime that you'd want to talk about it, we can break it down into exactly why these numbers are what they are, and which ones are good and which ones are not as good as I'd like to see. But these are our numbers, and you see there that the total percent then is 54%, which gives us a school grade of a B. It's the fifth B in the school's history since 1997, and it's the third one in the last 9 years. And so we'll see how it continues, but obviously we're very pleased with that. And as far as Title I schools, we're only one of, there are 11 Title I schools and in the district, and we're one of 3 that have Bs. It's not, the work that was done by our student body and our faculty to get that is not easy work when you're dealing with a student population that's 75% free and reduced lunch. And so very pleased with our staff and just so proud of all the work that they've done. I promise that when I had this in my mind and I practiced it, I thought we'd get through 35 minutes, maybe. Some people went a little long on their slides, and I didn't take the Bill Tolomer questioning factor in there. But
I'm not through yet.
And it didn't help.
I still got another one.
And it didn't help that Amara turned off the air on us so that it felt like longer, right? Jeez Almighty. Sorry about that. I promise I thought that I had this quicker. But anyway, look, you know me. I always tell you that we're going to talk about Royal Palm Beach High School forever because we're proud of it. We love the place. You see that. We've got really quality people who work with us, and we're very excited about what's going on, and we're proud to serve the Royal Palm Beach community.
So I just want to share a best practice that 3 high schools that I know in Dallas and California and Colorado do. They tout themselves as a college preparatory school, and they extrapolate the graduation rates out of college back into the high school, and they actually talk about how well they prepare kids for college. So might be something you think of as you get down the road to kind of bring back to you, because these are all great because in the box, but it's really where they're going, right? So those are things that you might think about.
Correct, and the district has, the district has 4 major goals, right? The elementary ones, okay, I can never remember. Reading. No, it's 70. No, hold on. I know this. It's 75% reading at the 3rd grade level, right? It's 75% coming high school readiness, 75%. There's 90% at for graduation rate, which we're at 93, so we surpassed that, and there's 75% for college readiness, which is that acceleration piece, and you saw that we were at 79. So we beat both of those numbers, but one of the things that we're starting to get now is the district is doing a much better job of starting to track our kids after they leave, and we're beginning now to get information and data that's coming back to us on that kind of stuff. So we are starting to get some reports on that. And so the district is kind of on that, and you're right, that is a very good practice. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to turn the air conditioner down now.
Okay, reports from the district. Mm-hmm.
We're almost there. Thank you so much for having us this evening. We're very pleased to be able to be here at the Village of Royal Palm and presenting some of the great work from our schools in your village. I'd like to start with some introductions this evening. Of course, I'm Valerie Haynes. I'm the Central Regional Superintendent. Ms. Marcia Andrews is here, school board member. She's here with us this evening. Vivian Green, our instructional superintendent for elementary schools, serving the West, including Royal Palm, and Karen Wetzel, our secondary instructional superintendent as well. Tonight we have Theomaine Dorleans. She's one of our instructional team leaders, new to Central Region. We're glad that she's here tonight. We also have Claudia Mejias, who was unable to make it tonight, but she is also another one of our instructional team leaders this evening. And Keith Oswald, our Deputy Superintendent Chief of School, sends, of course, our best out here. So I would like to also introduce to you, and I guess no introduction necessary, we have all of our principals that are returning back here at Royal Palm. Bruce Salter over at Cypress Trails, Jennifer Makowski, happy birthday. H.L. Johnson, Tracy Gogler of Royal Palm Beach Elementary, Dr. Stephanie Nance over at Crestwood Middle, and Dr. Jesus Armas at Royal Palm Beach High School. And that was a very impressive presentation, Dr. Armas. And thank you for doing that, because what you've actually done is that you have presented quite a bit of my presentation, so we're going to be able to move ahead quick. But I really appreciate that. It's a team effort. I would like to also introduce to you, we have a new assistant principal at H.L. Johnson Elementary, and that's Danielle Agudelo. Welcome. And so Dr. Armas already shared our strategic plan for the school district of Palm Beach County. We're in year 4, but in reiterating what he had mentioned is that our goal at the elementary level is to increase reading proficiency by 3rd grade to at least 75% or higher. As we know, our district made a little bit of a backtrack as an entire district, but I'm happy to report that many of our schools at the village of Royal Palm are really moving in the right direction. Also ensure high school readiness at 75% and increase high school graduation to be at 90% or above. And of course, as a district, we've already exceeded that goal, but Royal Palm Beach High School has of course, themselves exceeded that goal as well with a 93%. So congratulations to that. And part of the conversation at the very end here was in regards to the foster the postgraduate success, and that's a great point made. Bill, in regards to tracking that data and really looking for means and ways to have our students self-report that information back to us. So we want to congratulate our 3 elementary schools that serve the village of Royal Palm Beach, straight A's. Congratulations. Crestwood Middle came in at a B, and Royal Palm Beach High School, as you know, increased their letter grade from a C to a B. So congratulations to the village of Royal Palm Schools for doing such a wonderful job. As you can tell also, it's just that's the FY18 to FY19. We like to always compare year to year. And again, that's where it shows the growth for Royal Palm Beach High School, the increase in letter grade from a C to a B. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Green. She's going to be sharing additional data and information in regards to the performance of our elementary schools.
So good evening.
Good evening.
And I too would like to start by wishing Mrs. Makowski a happy birthday. All right, so we are extremely proud of our elementary schools here in the village of Royal Palm Beach. As you know, for the past 2 years, all of our elementary schools have been ACE schools, are ACE schools. And that is attributed to our great students, our parents, our community support, and also, as well as the great leadership that we have at our schools. In front of you, you have our ELA data for FY18 and FY19, as well as our ELA gains, our English language arts gains. And as you can see, in English language arts, at our 2 elementary schools, 2 of our elementary schools, we demonstrated some progress. And at Cypress Trails, we remained pretty much about the same. We lost a few points there, but overall, they were not significant losses. As far as our gains, we experienced some significant gains at H.L. Johnson in ELA comparing FY18 to FY19, and we remained the same at Cypress Trails and lost a few points at Royal Palm Beach Elementary. In math at Royal Palm Beach Elementary, we made significant progress in the area of math, as well as we gained a few points in math at H.L. Johnson, but we lost a few points in math overall at Cypress Trails Elementary School. As far as our gains go, our math gains, This continues to remain an area of focus for us overall, although H.L. Johnson was able to maintain their math gains and Royal Palm Beach lost a point but was not significant. The lowest 25%, the students performing the lowest 25% in ELA continues to be an area of focus for us in our elementary schools. As you can see in ELA, when comparing FY18 to FY19, at Cypress Trails, we remained about the same. But at H.L. Johnson, this area is a part of the principal's plan for improvement for this upcoming year. It's a focus area for her school, as well as at Royal Palm Beach Elementary School. We'll be taking a look at what we're doing with those subgroups of students within that subgroup. And then for our math in the lowest 25%, at Cypress Trails Elementary School, Mr. Salter has already started to create a plan there when addressing his students in the lowest 25% for math, because we did experience some significant losses in the area of math in the lowest 25%, as well as at H.L. Johnson and Royal Palm Beach Elementary School was able to maintain.
So Vivian, do you think that's part of the, just English as a second language around here? It's just those that are just still getting up to speed, or what's your kind of overall view for that?
For the lowest 25%? I think one of the things that we've talked about, the principals and I have talked about, is individualizing for specific student needs. So that's something that we've talked about, differentiating, ensuring that we're meeting the students' needs. And we're doing that walking through our classrooms. We're doing that by meeting with our teachers individually and in small group to talk about maybe why our students aren't grasping certain data.
Do we find that we have parental support with those individual students?
Yes, that's one of the things that we can brag about here in the village of Royal Palm Beach. We have the best parents. I don't think there's a principal out here that would complain about parental involvement. It's taking a look at our practice, because we start first with ourselves. What is it that we can do to assist our students? And I'm very proud of the principals that I serve, that's their mindset. We start first with ourselves. What is it that we can do? What is it that we need to do to enhance or to modify the learning environment for our students to meet their needs? All right, so science. So this is an area of focus for the district, as well as an area of focus for us, although I must say, overall, our students at 2 of our schools performed really well in comparison to other schools in the district. And Cypress Trails has a plan that they're working on to address their losses that they experienced in the area of science. But science was an area that we experienced a loss throughout the district and throughout schools with similar demographics to our schools here in the village of Wellington. So some of the highlights when analyzing our data here for our village of Royal Palm Beach. Did I say Wellington? Oh, sorry. Sorry. I serve Wellington too. I apologize. But I live in the village, this village. Cypress.
You've been hanging with Dr. Armas way too long.
Cypress Trails Elementary School, they had significant increases in 3rd grade math by 11% and has earned its 4th consecutive A. So we are really, really proud of the work that's happening at Cypress Trails Elementary School. And Cypress Trails Elementary School is a Title I elementary school. H.L. Johnson Elementary increased in ELA learning gains and math achievement, and we're very proud of them as well. And at Royal Palm Beach Elementary, they increased in their overall math proficiency with 100% of their students that are participating in the accelerated math program scoring a level 3 or higher. So we're really proud of Royal Palm Beach Elementary and their students and staff as well. So we can take a deep breath. So those were some of the highlights just to share with you as far as how our students performed. So what we're doing now is we're planning, we're moving forward, full steam ahead. We're taking a look back at last year's data so that we can analyze those areas that require additional support so that we can ensure that we're asking the right questions, because that's something that's really important as well, that we are truly zooming in on the areas where our students may lack, but maybe where our teachers may lack or need additional support as well. And that's what the lagging data is going to tell us as we plan moving forward. So shifting gears to some of the highlights at our elementary schools here in the village. At Cypress Trails Elementary School, where Mr. Salter is the principal, they are excited at Cypress Trails Elementary as they embark upon their Safe Schools Ambassadors. They are developing leadership skills in another aspect of social emotional learning. And here they are proud to introduce their 4th and 5th grade Safe School Ambassadors. Also at Cypress Trails Elementary School, and if you have an opportunity to visit their campus, as I have, outside of their classrooms, you'll notice the different ways that students would like to be greeted throughout their campus. So they're enhancing social emotional learning is the goal at Cypress Trails. This begins with personalized greetings each morning and every classroom implementing Lion Pride meetings to build relationships. So at Cypress Trails Elementary School, as with many of our schools, the students have morning meetings, and this is an opportunity for the teacher to interact with the student in a different way and for the students to interact with other students to support their social and emotional learning. H.L. Johnson, where Mrs. Makowski is the principal. H.L. Johnson is an Everglades Silver Level School for 2019. One of only 22 recognized Everglades champion schools in the state of Florida, and one of 9 schools to receive silver level recognition for the 2018-2019 school year. A model of environmental stewardship and Everglades conservation through curriculum, projects, and practices. They're creating a school culture that promotes Everglades literacy and conservation as core values is an exceptional accomplishment. So congratulations to them. H.L. Johnson wants to take this opportunity to share with you all of their upcoming activities. And I think all of our schools are always busy. And coming up at H.L. Johnson on September 11th, they will be celebrating Patriots Day luncheon from 10 until 1. They have open house scheduled 2 nights because their parent involvement is phenomenal. September 18th, K through 2 from 6 to 7, and September 25th, 3rd through 5th, 6 until 7 p.m. The safety patrols also have a car wash scheduled for Saturday, September 21st from 9 until 12. Please come out and support. And Dads Take Your Child to School Day will be scheduled on 2 days because they have such great parental support. September 25th, K through 2, and September 26th, 3rd through 5th. Royal Palm Beach Elementary School, where Mrs. Gogler is the principal. Royal Palm Beach is excited. Once again, they had their back to school barbecue. I did not get an invite again this year. 3rd annual back to school event with current Bobcat families and Bobcat alumni on August 16th. And that is something that Royal Palm Beach really does well, bringing their community of past and current students together.
You're just not part of that community.
Yeah, I didn't get an invite. Royal Palm Beach Elementary School also, they've initiated a really new program, the Golden Tickets, program, which are given to students in each class, who is the best helper for the substitute teacher. So what a phenomenal way to motivate kids to behave when they have a sub. So hats off to Royal Palm Beach Elementary School. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Wetzel.
Good evening, everyone. How are we tonight?
Evening.
Again, I want to say happy birthday to Ms. Mikowski. I don't want to be left out of all of that because it's like a really important event. And
One more time and we're going to have to sing to her, you know.
So as you can see from the data, when you look at our secondary schools here in Royal Palm Beach in ELA, the data is a slight increase and very stable. And I'm going to move through this kind of quickly because you've seen a lot of this already tonight. But when you take a look at their math data, you can see that both Crestwood Middle and Royal Palm Beach High School have made some nice gains and are very stable in their math area. Taking a look at, where am I at? Yep, there we go. Oh, Vivian was supposed to stay up there and click for me.
I know we're good.
Thank you.
It is a team
I know,
effort.
there's that barbecue ticket, right? So when you take a look at the gains made by the lowest 25%, both at Crestwood Middle School and Royal Palm Beach High School, you can see that we do have some work to do in each one of those areas. And I think you asked the question earlier, you know, really what is that, right? And I at the secondary level, much like the elementary level, it is really the same thing. It's about drilling down. It's looking at individual students. It's looking at what their background is and what do they need in order to be successful. Because it's not the whole school that we're talking about. The gains look pretty good across the board, but in that lowest 25, that's the area that we really seem to have the most work to do. Vivi and I will work collaboratively on that and see what strategies are working in both areas to make sure that we have some serious impact. Science overall, am I on science? Yes, just make sure. So science overall is very stable. Across the district, there are some slight dips, but here in Royal Palm Beach, we are very stable across the board. And if you take a look at our social studies data, what you see is some slight increases in that area as well. So very good news in that area. Secondary highlights, you know, it's very exciting when Royal Palm Beach High School increases their letter grade to a B, so a round of applause for that, because that's really exciting. A 93% graduation rate is outstanding, and an increase in the social studies performance. For Crestwood Middle School, to maintain that B is also a round of applause for you, congratulations. And also an increase in social studies performance. Now, as we get into the highlights for each one of my schools, and Vivian, I felt like you had like a million, I have two. I just want to take a moment, because it's not on the slide, to give some recognition to Crestwood Middle School. You know, we're all familiar with what happened on Friday at Crestwood Middle School, and what I want to say right now is kudos to Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, to school police. I happened to be on the ground for all of that and watch that take place. I am so proud of the work that they did. Everything was like clockwork, everything was perfect. There's a few things you probably don't know, like when Dr. Nance got the call. She made the announcement in her building, and she stepped out into the halls and made sure the halls were completely clear before she stepped into a classroom with students. The rule really is, lock yourself down. But she didn't do that. She walked right out there and she took care of business. Martin Pasquarello, assistant principal, on his way to her funeral, watches 10 SUVs come flying by him, says, that doesn't look right. Turned around and went back to school. Realized it was happening on campus, couldn't get on campus. He stepped out, he made his command post, and he called me, which was exactly what he was supposed to do. And then you had Melissa, I'm going to say your name wrong, Calliser. Melissa locked herself in her office and popped up all the cameras in the building and watched them and was ready to call on the radio for whatever she saw. Now, I want a round of applause for them because I think that is definitely incredible. You know, we practice for those events all the time, and it's really very heartening when you walk into a place and you see that everything happens the way it needed to happen.
So let me share what I shared with last year watching this. The communities and neighborhoods weren't as smart as Dr. Nance and her staff. I was home, and there was a lot of absolute misinformation and a lot of people losing their minds. And they don't help that situation at all. So I really would challenge the district and us together to figure out how to educate the community on those pieces, because they can be very detrimental. We're very detrimental in our neighborhoods trying to go and going in the wrong place. You know, it absolutely just undermines everything you guys have set up to do. So, you know, kudos to your staff and you, Dr. Nance, for leading that. But I will tell you, the neighborhoods around it were a mess because they don't understand what their real role is. And I think maybe some education on that point will help. At least you had to have to deal with one more thing you guys are already dealing with. Because I was part of it, they were just, I'm like, no, sit here, don't go anywhere, just stop, you know, just wait till you hear.
And I'll make the offer, at some point, if at a village meeting or something like that, if you want us to come and talk and present about what procedures are and how communication takes place, we're happy to do that. I was back with the parents, back behind where the soccer field was, and spent a lot of time with people just saying, everybody needs to breathe. Because it was, well, it was on Facebook at 2 o'clock. Why did we find out at like 3:15? And I said, because the bottom line is, kids are first, and teachers, and we're taking care of the building. And once we are secure and communication begins to flow, that's sometimes how long it takes. But I'm all in. If you want somebody to come in.
Yeah, there's 11 communities back over where we live right there, so it would help to know, even for HL and for Royal,
Right.
all of them, you know, because everybody goes to those schools, so it would just make sense. So I'll see if I can set that up for you.
Absolutely.
Somewhere where, and that will probably help at least. Again, kudos to your staff, Dr. Nansen, for being so on top of it.
And so as Crestwood moves forward this year, the A is really in their grasp. So if you see all of the literature that'll be coming out of there, they're going to be soaring to the 9s. So 9 points in each cell this year will get them to that A. And if you want to click on that, because there's a few things that they're doing at school. Go back one. There you go. So there's a variety of bulletin boards and things that are around the building. Avid's Wall of Inspiration is pretty spectacular. And Dr. Nance leading the professional development, which actually happened to be at Friday morning, which was also very exciting. Crestwood also does Thank a Teacher Thursdays. Here they recognize teachers Lori Alvord and Widleen Pierre Lewis for their dedication and commitment to excellence in education. And Royal Palm Beach Community High School, Dr. Jesus Armas. There's no presentation to follow, just so we're clear. And I did not add any slides in there because I knew that he would bring his team and do a great job. And what I want to say to the team is, what a terrific example of shared leadership. You guys rock. So really nice job tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
One of the quotes that really stands out to me is in regards to the relationship between schools and communities. And I know that they say, and this is from Robert McClure, I know they say that good schools make good communities, but the truth of the matter is that good communities make good school. And that attests to the work that you do as a village. And so we thank you for that. If you have any questions, our contact information is available for you. And we're always here to support. Do you have any questions for us now, for me and my team? No? Great. So, no. Ms. Andrews, would you like to come on up? Wonderful. Ms. Andrews will be next. Thank you.
What a wonderful evening. Wow, let's give it a big hand for our principals, our leadership, our village, and our schools. Just being a part of the village of Royal Palm Beach, I live here, so it's a special place for me. And my grandkids are at Royal Palm Beach High School and Crestwood. And Mr. Armas, we have it because my daughter teaches there. And I'm just so excited tonight when I hear about the great things that are happening at our schools. And good evening to the board. Thank you for always partnering with the School District of Palm Beach County. You have been awesome for years, and we could not do it without your support. I bring greetings this evening from our superintendent, Dr. Donald Fenoy, and all 7 school board members. Our new leaders here, we love it, and there's a former principal from Crestwood Middle School. I don't know if you all knew that. We have some excited leaders here that's taking the place of those who have left us, but we have not lost any grounds in making it happen for children, for our schools and our principals. I've already had an opportunity to meet with Crystal Clark, your chair, and invited her to the school board to meet with me to talk about what her mission is as she moves into this position. And we've actually scheduled meetings to walk the schools together. I invite you all to contact me to get to know me a little bit more. If you'd like to do something special, I have the entire District 6, but my commitment to you is for Royal Palm Beach Village, and we can go and visit schools and do almost anything that you want me to do to make sure that I can educate you on all the aspects of the school district. Academics, you heard about it tonight. It's a major priority, but we've got to make sure our schools are safe. Kudos to Crestwood. I just told Ms. Haynes that I got it. I know she has it. Maybe parents don't know, and we'll continue to work on training for them. But I knew this school, the principal and this team, been there for a long time. Kids love it. It's another happy place right here in the village, and we work hard on keeping our students safe. So I'm just so pleased with Crestwood. But safety is a priority. Can't do the academic piece if our children aren't safe. And so one of the big things that we're doing right now is making sure that we have enough security at every school. A police officer, sometimes 1, 2, maybe 3, as you heard today with Royal Palm Beach High School. And we're covering every charter school. Every school in the village of Royal Palm Beach, all over Palm Beach County, has a police officer in the school to make sure the schools are safe. And the mental health component, as you heard about today, very critical for children as well as adults. And as you heard Royal Palm Beach talk about it, we really make sure we take care of the mental, social, emotional, academic needs of everybody within our school. So I'm not going to repeat all the great things I heard tonight. It was so exciting to see that we're growing. We have great schools. Our academics are looking well. We're growing. We're trying to reach every student, the lowest 25% all the way to the top. And this is where we can talk the real deal on the kinds of things you can do to help us grow every child for success. Thank you. Any questions?
Just want to say thanks for, it's been pretty chaotic at the district with all the changes and things. I know it's been very busy, so I appreciate your support for the district and getting everybody up to speed, because it's then the hurricane hits and all the other fun stuff, so appreciate that.
Absolutely, and I'm just so pleased to have such great leaders at the district as well as in our schools. So we know all of these people. They may just be in different roles, and they know how to step up to the plate to get it done for children, because it's always about the children. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to add that on at the October 7th meeting, School Police Chief Kitzrow will be here. So if anybody has questions, they can ask then. And then, do we have any liaison reports? Pam?
I just wanted to say on behalf of Palms West Charter, Steve Epstein did invite everybody to come in, join on the annual 9/11 Remembrance event. They're doing it Wednesday, September 11th. It's going to begin at 9 a.m., Palms West Charter School. Breakfast will be served immediately following the ceremony. They've done great things in the past. I know you've gone a couple of times, Jeff. You go every year. They usually do something very, very special with all of the students. The last couple of years, I believe they've built things and done.
They released doves last year at the end of the ceremony.
Oh, he did get doves. Of course he did. I know the students get very involved with whatever ceremonial things they do. I know they built 2 large
towers.
They did the towers, and then they put stones. They put all of the victims' names on the stones, and the students came out and dropped them into the towers, which still stand at the school. They do very beautiful things at the school, and I'm actually going to go this year and see what they have come up with this year. So I look forward to it, and I will try to take video and do a report on it next month. So I look forward to it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I just want to make sure the calendars are good things for us when you put your calendars up so we can see, what you got going on. So if you would, in your reports, or at least send something, we'd like to know what is going on in your school so we can go visit, if you don't mind. So Dr. Nance, I'll be contacting your secretary just to come stop by and do those pieces. And after the hurricane, we try to get together. But we like to come as many things as possible because we think you do great things. So the calendars always help us.
And student council report?
Good evening, everybody. Okay. At the last meeting, Student Council was preparing for our County Council meeting. We hosted the first meeting of the school year, being that Royal Palm Beach High School is the county president this year. We had over 20 schools come with over 200 students in attendance. Although Hurricane Dorian did not hit us, it devastated the Bahamas and traveled throughout the coastline. We're supporting the Bahamas Strong movement, and since we were out of school for a few days, we decided to push our homecoming date back, which was originally scheduled for next week, to October 28th through November 2nd. We thought it would be best to push it back for any kids that were affected, and so that they have the time to recuperate. And as we approach the new homecoming date, we will be working on many projects in between, such as earlier today, we did the Chick-fil-A Cow Contest, and I'm proud to say we won first place for now the 4th year in a row. Additionally, we held freshman interviews, and I'm glad that I sat before 14 freshmen that were interested in joining Student Council. Although we could only accept 7, I'm proud of who we selected, and I cannot wait to see them grow and become outstanding leaders. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any statements from the public? Anything? Oh, yeah? Ms. Andrews?
Wow. Breaking news?
It's kind of breaking news. I see Jonathan up here. He probably already knows about it. Our student council.
Oh, yeah, yes, I don't know. Yeah, that was my bad. I was supposed to send that slide. Ms. Wetzel really covered for me because I was supposed to send the slide and I didn't get that one. But Jonathan mentioned that Royal Palm Beach High School is the president for the county. Well, with that comes the fact that our president, Jaden Manuel, gets to sit on the dais of the school board meetings. And so I'll bring you a few pictures about that from last time. They had a couple of nice articles in the newspapers and with our own town crier and then the Post. And then and so he gets to sit on the dais, and he gets out a report for all the students in the entire county. And so it's a really neat deal. I always tell people, and you don't really understand it until you kind of been in it, because I didn't figure it out. But in the student council world, Royal Palm Beach High School is the big player in the state of Florida. I mean, you know, we're also the treasurer of the vice president. My bad. So we're vice president of the region too. So we're always winning elections and that thing because throughout the state, really, our kids do a really good job, and they're known for how well they do in the student council world. So yeah, we're very proud of that. Thank you for calling me on that.
And congratulations to you, Jonathan, for being the president.
Congratulations.
Okay, anyone else? Motion to adjourn?
Approve the minutes.
Oh, approve the minutes from last meeting. Anybody want a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as done.
Second.
Got it?
We're good.
Okay.
Can I make one comment before we close?
Of course.
People often ask, and it was addressed earlier, what does the Education Advisory Board do? And you heard some of what we do. But one of the things that we are good spokesman people for the schools. And the way we get that way is by knowing you all well and spending time at your schools. And that's one of the reasons we have the school liaison positions. So just as Bill had suggested, reminding us of the upcoming activities every meeting is a really, really good thing. We will spend the time with the schools that parents often don't have, but we see those parents in aisle 13 at Publix. It's one of my favorite places. We see parents various places and have these casual conversations, and when we can talk with real understanding of what you all do and how committed your staffs are and how professional they are and how many of their kids go to the school and how many alumni return as teachers, we can help get the word out, and I think it makes a difference. So thank you for what you do. Appreciate that.
I second.
Adjourned.